Hello, Lynn Furman here, your weight loss and empowerment coach. And today I'm coming to you of one of many videos about emotional eating. So many times when I start working with people, I hear, I'm an emotional eater. And every single person has a different way of describing it, a different way of doing it. Circumstances are different for every single person. So let's quick talk about what is emotional eating. Well, it is using food to either celebrate or cover how you're feeling. It could be that you got a promotion at work and you want to go out to eat to celebrate. That somewhat can be defined as an emotional eater. You're using your happiness and celebrating your happiness and good fortunes by eating with food, right? So you're using food to celebrate. On the opposite side, when you are having a rough day, you can use food to try and make you feel better. And sometimes this looks like sitting on the couch with a quart of ice cream, scooping it right out and eating it. Okay. And so that's just one example. You may be doing it some other way, right? So emotional eating looks a little bit different for every single person. Every single person I've worked with, it looks a little different. So why do we do emotional eating? Is it bad? Yes and no. So food, as you know, I've said many, many times, food is used to fuel your body. Okay, that is the primary job, responsibility of food, is to fuel your body. Because without food, without those nutrients, your body doesn't function, right? So you need the food to fuel your body to function, just like you would need to put gasoline in a car to make it run. You know, the higher end, like BMWs, Mercedes, you use premium, or you're supposed to use premium level gas, right? The really, really expensive stuff. When you have the 3 levels, the expensive stuff. That's because that's what it needs to run. Okay, so fueling your body the way it needs, that's the primary job of food. But we give food this other job, kind of like a side gig, if you will, of using it to celebrate, using it to make us feel better when we're down. And it's in those situations where we tend to eat more than what we actually need, to eat richer food than what our body actually needs or wants. And while that's okay once in a while, it's not okay every day. All right. So with the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, 2 major holidays, right, that we eat, you think of big, big feasts on those 2 days, right? Where, you know, you have turkey and you have dressing and you have all that jazz, right? You have green bean casserole, you have dessert, you might have some wine, wine with it, right? And so those feasts, we're celebrating the holiday. And those one day, like those 2 holidays, they're a month apart, right? About a month apart. They're not going to kill you. They're not going to kick you off your weight loss journey. Are you going to lose weight with those holidays, like over that day, if you indulge? No. Are you going to gain some weight? Not weight that's going to keep, sticking to your bones. Okay. You might have an increase in water weight, or you might intake way more calories than what you necessarily need that day, but it'll come back down. Okay. That's because you're fueling your body along this weight loss journey. And so your body's knowing what it needs and what it wants then. And then on those days when we're using the food to celebrate, we're indulging ourselves. I do it. My husband does it. My family does it. It's okay, right? That's just what we're used to. I'm not talking about going out and getting sick, like eating enough to get sick. All right. But enjoy yourself. But on the flip side, too, if you're sitting at home every night feeling sorry for yourself, like, I really want to lose weight and it's not coming off. I'm doing so much and it's not coming off. And then you find yourself indulging in ice cream every night. Okay, ice cream doesn't really have that many nutrients. So it's probably not the best thing to have every single day, especially if you're eating it out of the container, because you're eating way more when you eat out of the container. So emotional eating isn't always a bad thing, but you need to make sure that you have control over your emotions. And that goes back to your mindset, right? When I say about the weight loss journey, my number one thing as a coach is I always say the weight loss, yes, it's in the kitchen, it's in movement, but it is primarily up here. It's the way you are thinking. It's the way you think about yourself, about the weight loss, about what you're doing. I was just in a conversation the other day with somebody, and she was like, I eat healthy. I exercise. I do everything I'm supposed to. And the weight is not coming off. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you think about that? I'm frustrated. I feel like a failure. I feel like this isn't, like, what I'm doing isn't working. And I haven't been working with her yet. And so we're talking, and I'm like, okay. And what, like, when are you eating? And she's like, well, I'm an emotional eater. Okay. And she couldn't grasp her emotions. They were everywhere. And I mean, everywhere, right? So we worked on that a little bit. Just in our consult, we worked on what her emotions were and really tried to rein those in, okay? And feeling like a failure, feeling like it's not going to work. Guess what? If you're thinking it's not going to work in your head, dun, 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 it's not going to work, okay? Because you're looking for a way out. You're looking for that easy way out. And emotional eating is a way out. Okay, you're basically giving yourself a reason, an excuse to every day not stick to a plan, not stick to what you know, not stick to thinking positively about this journey. This weight loss journey is not just a beginning and end. It's lifelong. Once you drop the pounds, you got to keep them off, right? So if you're saying you're an emotional eater and you're super strict on a diet, and then you drop, say, 50, 100 pounds, and then all of a sudden you reach your goal weight, and you go back to feeling like you don't have control, and you start eating your emotions, and you sit on that couch at night and you are eating ice cream out of a container, or you're going through the McDonald's drive-through because you need a pick-me-up, right? Those situations are going to keep creeping back up. Life is not going to be perfect. Life is not always going to be sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns. Tough shit's going to happen, and you need to be able to know how to handle it in your mind and not let your mind start playing games. Because when your mind starts playing games, then your body starts playing games, then you'll lose everything, right? So that's something that I'm really working with clients right now, is really honing in on what feelings you're having, what thoughts are creating those feelings when it comes to food, when it comes to situations around food. Because that's, if you're comfortable in situations with food, and you're not using the food as a crutch, you're going to lose the weight and you're going to keep it off. Okay? So that's the first tier of emotional eating. And now we'll talk about it more again, down the road and here and there, because I know so many people, when they start their weight loss journey, they're like, I'm an emotional eater. And we got to stop thinking of it as always an emotional eater. Okay? We need to think about controlling our thoughts, changing our thoughts. Because if we can control up here, we can control what goes in our mouth. And we can enjoy everything that goes into our mouth and not feel bad about it. And that is living life. That's being healthy. And that's giving you the tools to drop the pounds, lose the weight, and keep it off for good. Okay? So if that has touched you, if that kind of resonates with you and you're thinking, oh my God, yeah, Lynn is like on it. Let's talk. Let's figure out, are you really the emotional eater? What's controlling your thoughts and how can we rein that in? Okay? Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out together. Because if you don't get control of that, you're not going to get control over your weight loss. And that's why you're here. That's why you're watching this. So feel free to book a call with me. Let's chat and let's figure it out together. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.